All right, on to our next example of using the power rule to find tangent lines. So here we're given the function x cubed minus 2x squared plus x, and our goal is to find the line tangent to the graph at the point 1, 0. So this is all depicted below. The graph of our function is this nice purple thing here, and I'm going to denote this by 1 here. So this is 1. Our point is going to be 1, 0. And our goal is to find the tangent line, that chartreuse line, passing through that point that is touching that graph at 1 point. Okay, so we want the equation of the chartreuse line. How are we going to figure out that thing? So we're going to use the same steps as we have before. First thing is we're going to find the derivative using the power rule, as opposed to the limit definition of the derivative, making our life easy. All right, so I'm going to rewrite my function. Function rewritten is x cubed minus 2x squared plus x, and the point that we were given was 1, 0. So step 1, find the derivative. So f prime of x is equal to, okay, how do we do it? Take your 3, move it down in front, subtract 1 from the exponent. So it gives you 3x squared. Do the same thing for the second term. You take your 2, bring it down in front, multiply it by that minus 2, so you have minus 4x to the first power. And then this plus x just becomes 1. Okay? So that is the derivative of our function that we were given. So that's step 1. Step 2, our goal is to find f prime of 1, namely the x value that we were given, this x0. That's our x0. Okay? So what we're going to do is then plug that 1 into our function. So every place we see an x, we're going to replace it with a 1. So we have 3 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 plus 1. Just make that one green. There we go, plus 1. All right, so there we go. What does that equal to? Well, 1 squared is just 1, so we have 3 minus 4 plus 1. Hey, look, that's 0. That kind of makes sense now looking at the graph, because remember that f prime of 1 is the slope of our function at x is equal to 1. So looking at this point, this red point here, what's the slope of the graph, the purple graph, at that point? It's 0. It's flat there. And same thing with our chartreuse line, which touches at that point. Okay? So it makes sense that our slope is 0. It's flat line, flat tangent line. All right, so now using our point slope form, we have y minus y0 is equal to m times x minus x0. Make sure you have this thing memorized as much as humanly possible. Plug in all relevant information. So our x0 was given to us. It was this first 1 here. Our y0 is the corresponding y value. Okay, so plug in relevant information. Our y is just y. y0 is 0. M was our slope, our 0, so we put 0 there. Then we have x minus x0. x0 was 1. Okay, so now we have, notice on the right-hand side, we have 0 times this quantity x minus 1. 0 times anything is just 0. Okay, so the left-hand side of this entire thing is just going to be equal to y. So simple, because we have y minus 0, that's just y. And then the whole right-hand side was equal to 0. So the equation of the tangent line is just y is equal to 0. And that makes sense. The equation of the line, that chartreuse line that we have up here, is indeed y is equal to 0. You probably could have determined that without having to use point slope form. If you could have, you can definitely skip this step. But that is the equation of our tangent line. It's y is equal to 0. And that's that.